Hi, Pete.
Hey, how are you?
You guys were able to come back to home ice and get a win for the first time in the series, first team to do so on their home ice, and reestablish that advantage for yourselves. Now you have to just win one of the last two. How important was it to you guys to get the win today?
Yeah, I think obviously critical. We're a good home team. We take pride in playing at home all year. I think we have the best crowds in the league here, as you saw tonight, and the building's electric. And, it's a little uncharacteristic of us to lose the first two at home. I'm not even sure we deserved to lose two, but we did. But credit to our group. There wasn't a lot of believers at that point, and we went on the road into a tough environment and, kind of rolled up our sleeves and went to work. And, you look up and 6 days later, you got a 3-2 lead and a chance to close out the Stanley Cup champions. So work's not done yet. We've got some heavy lifting to do, but just proud of our group.
How did you feel about this third period? It seemed like you pushed even harder in this one than you did last one. I know you have to sit back.
I think we talked about not sitting back too much. It's tough, with that mindset because they've got some dangerous players. And, when you're playing from behind like that, you just start to take more chances. Your D start to jump in and activate a little bit more. So that creates some problems. And they got a few good looks, but I thought, it was the best 20 minutes of the playoffs for Jake in the third when we needed him. So, that's all part of it. I think I talked at the beginning of the playoffs. You need goaltending. You need special teams. You need heroes on different parts of your roster to step up with a big play or a big goal. And, right now we're getting contributions from all those things.
You're getting all those things, but you're also doing very well at 5-on-5. Like, what's going so well defensively at 5-on-5?
Well, you look at our numbers the last 2 years. We've been a really good defensive team. I don't think we're doing anything dramatically different. I mean, obviously, you have tremendous respect for their roster and their players, and what they're capable of. But I think our group has taken a lot of pride in defending all year, and I think our numbers show that.
Coach, did you get an explanation at all why the calls were called the way they were on those two plays involving Sagan in the second period?
Yeah.
Because replays made it look like maybe there's a gray area there.
Yeah. You know what? There was there was a lot going on in that game. There was a lot of emotions both ways. Some questionable hits, not questionable hits, some calls. So I think it's all about managing it. You're not gonna get all those calls to go your way. And I thought our group managed the emotions of the game tonight really well.
Pete, you mentioned how well Ottinger played in the third. It seems like every game in this series he gets better as the game goes on. Can you just talk about that and that big save on Stevenson?
Yeah, he's had a history. When I look back just on my time with him last year, he really has the ability to go to another level at the most important time of a game, regardless of what's happened earlier in the game. And that was the third period tonight. That was the third period the other night. He's got that mentality that great goaltenders do, that they can go to that next level at the most important point of the game.
Wyatt, we've marveled at him earlier.
Yeah.
Stankoven tonight, not only does he have the age, he's 171 pounds going against 220-pound defenseman, and he comes out of the pile a lot of times with the puck.
Yeah, I thought he might have been our best player tonight, Both those kids were outstanding again, but he was, I thought he was on the puck all night, hounding, moving his feet. Could have had a couple goals, created a big goal for us. Those kids have really made a big contribution for us.
Hey, Pete, you mentioned managing your emotions. Bruce talked earlier about the situation you went through last year with Jamie when he got suspended in the conference final. How much of that, I guess, for the group was that a learning experience to handle those emotions and to kind of see it backfire, I guess, on the other side this time?
Well, I think any time you lose, in the playoffs, the good teams use it to make themselves better, and you talk about those things. And, that was a part of the series last year, but there was other parts of the series too that, some self-inflicted plays by us. I'm thinking the game 6, some bad pinches, some odd man, some things that, we self-imploded at certain points in that series last year that, we've talked about, and I think we're doing a real good job of not making it easy on them.
How important is it for your power play to capitalize the way that it did tonight?
Yeah, that's playoff hockey. You have to win the special teams battle. You have to win the goaltending battle. Again, we've had 2 top. This isn't something that we've turned on. We've got top 10 penalty kill and power play all year, just like our defensive game. So this isn't something that we've dialed up for the playoffs, and we're obviously playing a very good opponent. But it's been good all year, and I think it has to be. You don't just crank that stuff up in the playoffs.
Matt, you had a pretty good season all year. Were able to pop in some goals. How did it feel to get one in the playoff series finally?
Yeah, I've had some looks so far. I think after game 2, a few in game 3 there last game. So yeah, I mean, I think our power play unit's been doing a good job, and Segi made a great play into Johnny there. Had a good tip, and just it's one of those ones you just fire to the net and it finds its way in. So you keep going to the right places and going to the net, and every now and then you get one of those.
Logan, what's these 5 games been like, and has it gotten, I don't want to say easier, but do you feel more comfortable in game 5 than you did in game 1?
I think I had more legs tonight than game 4. I wouldn't say it gets any easier. I think the competition level gets higher and higher, and tonight, basically from here on in, it's a best of 3. So it was nice to get the win tonight.
Wyatt, and you're 171, I think, going against D-men who are like 220. You've done this a lot, probably in the AHL and other places, but what is the key? I mean, is it just getting positioning? Is it getting leverage? How do you do it?
It's hard sometimes, especially like down the wall and stuff, trying to get pucks out. You got to find where the puck is, plus you got a big defenseman coming down on you. So just make heads-up plays. Don't try and do anything too fancy.
For both of you, what's going through your head when you see Stevenson on that breakaway and then when Jake makes that stop?
Yeah, I won't say what was going through my head, but I was kind of the guy deep there, and that was unbelievable save. You need those in the playoffs, and he's been really solid the last few games for sure. He's getting better and better as the series is going, and we needed it. That's. If you look at game 3, there Thompson made some huge saves to keep them in it, and they come back and send it to overtime. And this game, this series, every game's been a 1-goal game, so you need your goalies to come up big, and he sure did there.
And they play a physical game, and sometimes it seems to have cost them a little bit in this series. The power play kind of getting going? Do you just have to make them pay in those situations?
Yeah, power play is such a big thing in playoffs because it's so hard to score 5-on-5, especially in this series. You guys have watched it, and it's like I said, 1-goal games every game. There's been a couple empty netters that made a 2-goal, but it's the difference between winning and losing is razor thin. And when you get a man advantage, you got to take advantage of it. And I thought, we did a good job tonight. We had some other good looks too that could have gone in. So, and then their power play got them a big one early. So that was kind of the story tonight and the difference.
For either one of you guys, did this game feel any testier, edgier than the previous 4?
I don't think so. I think just same intensity level. Nothing's really changed.
Hey, Matt, what have you guys learned about your team in these 3 games? Because your backs were to the wall.
Yeah, you'll look at how many comeback wins we had this year, and how I've said it a million times how we're able to stay even keel no matter what situation we're in. And obviously going into Vegas, we knew what we had to do. And I'd be lying if I said, the day after game 2, I think we all were probably in the same spot mentally. It was not a great feeling, and it was a daunting task to go in there and win those games. And we just dug deep, and like I said, even keel, and just try and put the best game out there. And we felt good about our game, game 1 was probably our weakest game of the series. Game 2, we played really well, didn't get the result, and we just have stuck with it and kept, battling. And it's like I said, it's a razor thin series between winning and losing, and it's not over yet by any means. We got potentially two left. We got to win one of them, and they're going to be desperate on home ice, and we expect their best next game for sure.
Very well. Anything in particular that you liked about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously finishing off, that's the most important part. Yeah, I mean, we knew they were going to come out, really hard in the third, and it's up to us to kind of do our best to, push back and, try to play as forward as we can without, being reckless.
Did you like that balance? I think last game you were maybe a little bit more cautious. This game it was more balanced, it seemed like.
Yeah, I think it was a little better. Obviously, get a lot more experiences. The playoffs get on and been in that situation a couple times. So, just try to learn from each time it happens and adjust from there.
You see Jake make a save like that late in the third period. Are those the kind of saves you just need from him in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's huge. Breakaway with a couple of minutes left. I mean, it was an awesome save and such a crucial moment in the game, and obviously stepped up really big.
What did these last 3 games say about your team?
I think, the resilience. Obviously being down 2-0, that's not the spot you want to be in going into Vegas, and just battling back, and obviously still got a lot of work to do, and the last game will be the toughest, or getting the job done will be the toughest. But I think it's been great how we've been able to battle back.
You guys have reestablished home ice advantage, so to speak, because now you've got 2. You're able to get 1 here at home. What does that do for you guys, knowing that you have that?
It's huge. Usually going into the series, I don't think anyone expected none of the home teams in the first 4 games to, have a win. So it was great to get one on home ice, and just try to, take that momentum with us. And it's a huge win to be able to get up into the series.
You mentioned the resilience of this team to come back. Where does that come from?
I think we got a lot of guys in here who've played a lot of playoff games and been on a lot of long runs, and I think it's just that calmness and just that leadership that we have. Just not panicking, just focusing on a game, and I think it's it's amazing with all the great veterans we have here that we can especially a young guy like me can kind of look up to, and just kind of see their demeanor when especially when we're in a hole like 2-0, and just battling back and focusing on each game at a time.
What have you seen from Logan in the 5 games, and especially tonight? He really was on top of his game.
He was awesome. He's been. He's so much fun to watch. He's been great. He's wins so many puck battles and makes some great plays. Obviously, an amazing play on that first goal to Daddy, and he's been great, and it's been a lot of fun to play with him.
What's the key to winning his puck battles? He weighs 171 or something like that, and he's just taking on 220-pound defensemen and coming out with the puck.
He doesn't care.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. He's not afraid to go in and win a battle. So I think that's the biggest thing. He goes in there and he kind of leaves him no choice other than to come out with the puck. So it's impressive. How many puck battles he's in, especially when he's outweighed by 40, 50 pounds. Against some of these huge defensemen. So I think just that. That battle level, that compete level he has, it's fun to watch, and it's kind of contagious too.